an award like this doesn't come without a lot of people supporting you and standing up with you. So that's kind of what I'm going to get into. So I got involved with WSNA at Seattle Children's about 3 years after I became a nurse. And while a huge factor in me doing that was a childhood obsession with the movie Newsies, I'm not sure if any of you have seen that. One of the bigger factors in getting involved was that Edna Cortez, who's right over there, and Nancy Wilder, who I think is maybe somewhere over here, and then Diane Yates were all on our officer group, and they held the door open for me. We've talked a lot about sponsorship. Those were my crew. So they held the door open for me and made space for me on that original team in 2013. And they passed on all the tools and knowledge that they had, both figuratively and actually literally. Edna gave us the biggest pile of office supplies that we could ever want or need going into this next round of negotiations. And more importantly, she gave me just a lot of skills and knowledge that I wouldn't be in the place that I'm at without her. Similarly, I couldn't have asked for a better group of advocates at WSNA. Travis, Linda, Ian, Crystal, Pamela, there's so many other people throughout all these years of negotiating that have been so helpful and just really a professionally badass group of people who are so good at their jobs. So it's been just thrilling to work with all of you. Pamela especially taught our group in the last round of negotiations about the power of incremental change, which brings me to kind of another group to thank, and that's literally every single one of you, because we all know in union work that each contract that we fight for builds on the previous successes of every single other contract that we have fought for and won. There's insanely good night shift differentials at a bunch of the Peace Health hospitals that other people have been able to get. Break nurses at St. Joe's, a great wage scale that came out of Virginia Mason. Every single one of you just keeps rising the tide and lifting each one of us up. And because of that, we all know that we're so much stronger together. There's no group that reminds me that we're stronger together than our current officer group at Seattle Children's. Woo! There's no way that I could do what I do without each and every one of you. And when the progress feels like it's a little too incremental, there's not a better group that is willing to have a little cry with me or a huge laugh with me. And it's always easy for me to see that there's no better group of nurses or friends for me to do this work with. I wasn't born into a union family, but I was raised very much by my family to work collaboratively and to care about others. I have all sisters, so my mom never got to use her boy name, but it was the name David, as in David and Goliath. And so the sentiment in my family that we fight back in the face of injustice, no matter how big, strong, or powerful the opposition is certainly a family value. Last year, I read the book Taking Care by Sarah DiGregorio, which talks a lot about how nurses are constantly at the forefront of every single movement of social progress that this country and other countries have had. And in it, she says that sometimes a nurse's job is to state the obvious emphatically. I can't help but feel that the obvious thing right now is that we're facing an unprecedented moment in our country's history. Over the first 100 days of Trump's second term in office, we have seen him make decisions that erode every single one of our nation's values. Values like the balance of power, the dignity and equality of all human beings, due process, and freedom of speech, especially when that speech is used to call into question the actions of our leaders or the policies of our country. I think it's very true that growth and transformation often comes out of struggle, conflict, and challenge. And my biggest concern right now is that in the meantime, people will get sacrificed to all of that chaos and crisis. And it's going to be the most vulnerable people among us. There's a Palestinian poet, Rasha Abdullahi, who wrote, wherever you are, whatever sand you can throw in the gears of genocide, do it now. If it's a handful, throw it. If it's a fingernail full, scrape it out and throw. Just get in the way however you can. I think that's true. I think that's true of literally everything that is wrong. That's what we're called to do, is to get in the way however we can. And our own AMA Code of Ethics reminds us that it's our primary commitment to those, that our primary commitment is to those who need our care, and that we're supposed to do everything we can to promote social justice, eliminate health inequities, and facilitate human flourishing. We've already seen a lot and are going to continue witnessing things that are not aligned with our ethical code, things that don't promote human flourishing, and I want to implore all of you to get in the way however you can. Use your voice, remember that we're stronger together, work collectively with your community like you all already do, and continue to lift each other up and lift up the people that we care for. Start throwing as much damn sand in the gears as you possibly can. Thank you.